Good afternoon. Welcome to another video of the Kyle Coaching video tutorial series. Today we're going to talk about using your Garmin during a ride to measure success. I received an email last week with two great questions. Coach Chuck, two questions. What screens do you set up on your Garmin for an endurance ride? Is there a way to use them to make sure I'm successful? Ben, Orlando, Florida. Well, Ben, those are great questions. First, let's talk about the Garmin. I use the Garmin 1000, and there are multiple ways to customize the screens. One of the most important and significant portions of this discussion is to ensure that your Garmin is set up to have your correct functional threshold power, FTP, and your weight loaded. Without these two numbers, the rest will be incorrect. So I set up an activity called training or ride. I regularly use two screens. The first screen has elapsed time, distance, speed, normalized power, my 3-second power. Power is a percentage of my FTP and my heart rate. This is a screen that stays up the majority of the time. My second screen is a little more cluttered. 10 frames altogether. However, this is a screen that helps me determine how I'm doing on a ride. As you can tell, there are a few similar metrics: distance, time, normalized power, and heart rate. The ones that I use are kilojoules, training stress score, and intensity factor. So how do I use these to determine success? I'll leave the physiological discussion to another day, except for how long the ride should be. Science has shown that to get a physiological adaptation of your endurance system, it needs to be at least an hour and a half. So my rides, I don't concern myself with distance nor the time, as long as my pedal time is greater than an hour and a half. There are 3 frames that I think are key to a successful endurance ride. These are minimums, so I'm not saying once you get to X, I'm good. I'm always aiming for the training stress score, the TSS, of greater than 100. I aim for my kilojoules to be greater than 1,000, and my intensity factor greater than 0.75. Now let's talk intensity factor. Okay, IF. IF is equal to your normalized power divided by your functional threshold power. If you were to look at my ride on Saturday, you would see that I went for 2 hours and 40 minutes. My FTP is about 290 watts. The normalized power for this ride was 252 watts. So intensity factor is 0.869, or if you look on the Garmin screen, it says 0.87. What do the intensity factors mean? If you go for a ride and the IF is less than 0.75, then essentially it's a recovery ride. This will have little effect on your aerobic adaptation. 0.75 to 0.85 is a solid endurance ride. 0.85 to 0.95, we would consider a tempo ride, or you're doing aerobic or anaerobic intervals. 0.95 to 1.05, lactic threshold intervals. This is the IF that you'd want to see for a 40-kilometer time trial. Above 1, well, 1.05 to 1.15, this will be a short TT, and greater than 1.15, you might see in a prologue TT. The point is, on an endurance ride, aim for an IF between 0.75 and 0.85. Lastly, kilojoules. This could easily get into a lengthy discussion, but we're simply using a power meter to calculate energy expenditure. One of the more advanced training rides is to go out and ride until you've reached X amount of kilojoules. At the pro level, a cyclist must be able to burn 4,800 kilojoules of energy during a race. The science is that you can train the body to be more efficient and to increase its glycogen store, thus having more energy to burn during a race. An advanced Kyle coaching workout for a Category 3 rider would be to go out and expend 3,000 kilojoules with an intensity factor of being not less than 0.80. That's an exercise that gets pretty negative comments afterwards. So Ben, thanks for the email. I hope this video has helped clarify how I use my Garmin 1000 and how you can use yours too to properly execute an endurance ride. For those watching, thank you. If you have any questions, email me at chuck@kylecoaching.com. If you found this video helpful, please like it below. And if you have any comments, enter them too. Thank you very much.